Hello, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been 800 years. I know. But I wanted to finally go ahead and make my Galaxycon video. I got less than 2 minutes of footage, which is absolutely insane. It's just not really a vlog at all. I got a little bit of footage just of us arriving at the hotel and like getting dressed and stuff like that. And then I took a few pictures and that was it. I was supposed to be vlogging and I just haven't been. I look absolutely crazy. We just made it to our Galaxycon hotel and I'm glad it's spacious, right? The bathroom is tiny, but that's fine, so we're not gonna even be, you know, lounging in the bathroom. But also, a lot of hotels never have liquid soap, so I bought some. And oh, they're back. Right, we're eating, watching TV. Riley's trying to figure out how to do a mohawk. We've tried a lot of things, you know. I feel like this is a learning process for cosplay creation and wig creation, and it's a struggle, but you know, it's what happens when you are doing stuff last minute. It's really hard, but I'm excited for us to suit up and actually see us all together, Android 16, 17, and 18, so it'll be really exciting. All of our stuff is here. So I will definitely show you again once we're all suited up. I figure out what's going on, and Rodney wants to glue that onto his head, which I think is crazy. He said he is. I think that's a little bit crazy, but that's what we're gonna do. You know, the things we do for cosplay. So that's where we're at. Me and Brandon are like halfway dressed up. I obviously don't have my wig on yet. He doesn't have his on yet either, but yeah, so we're just kind of hanging around, figuring out what we're gonna do. I guess we're gonna go to the store and get Rodney some. Do you want your name out there? I don't even know. Okay. It's already out there. Get my older brother some glue, I guess, and some earrings. I was like, if you wanted to be real legit, we should all be wearing blue contacts, but
oh hell no.
They said no. We did not find hair glue, so he's using Elmer's glue, and yes, the glue that children use at. Oh, it's very overexposed. Hold on. I think. Once again, just like when I did my Mortal Kombat video, me explaining my Mortal Kombat cosplay video, I was working on this very last minute. What really happened was plans changed, and I knew that me and my brother were going to cosplay as Android 17 and 18 like we did before, but I did not know that I was going to have to try to make an Android 16 cosplay in like a week, I was like, man, that's a challenge, but I'm willing to accept that challenge because it's the first time that me and both of my older brothers were going to cosplay, and I knew that if we were going to do this, like, and he was going to be an Android, like, he had to be Android 16. And then I was thinking, like, I've never seen any other Android 16 at these conventions ever. So I'm like, okay, so the first part of doing cosplay is research, is seeing if there are tutorial videos, seeing if people have posted videos on YouTube. And unfortunately, there's nothing. There's people posting videos of their finished cosplay, but there's no tutorials, there's no templates, there's nothing for Android 16. So I already knew. I was like, this is absolutely crazy. Oh, mom's calling me. Hold on. Always got to answer mom's phone calls no matter what. She's so sweet though. She was just bringing me something from my apartment. I'm out of breath because I just ran up the stairs. Oh, I also realized I don't need to have my headphones on because I'm not listening to anything. I'm so used to wearing my headphones, but I don't need them. Well, I was like, okay, I have to find good pictures of Android 16, right? I have some here. I said, okay, let me just find some pictures of Android 16 and just try to make it myself. Now, I did watch some tutorial videos, just people building armor, like DBZ armor, just to kind of get an idea on what I might need to do. And so I saw this picture of this person. I don't know who this is. I might even cover the face because I don't know if they want their face on my video. And I saw that they use pool noodles, and I was like, okay, that's really interesting. And I was like, all right, I think I might steal that idea. I was like, well, let me start working on the armor, like the front part of the armor, and just see what I can do with that. So of course I always make sketches, or like I always make like paper paper templates for myself, especially if I can't just print out the template. I always make paper templates for myself. So that's what you see here is me. I tape paper together and I just put the sheet over myself, and just to see how it would fit. And I felt like it looked pretty decent. So I believe this is 8mm foam. or 6mm foam, one of the two. And I put it over there and I said, okay, I'm gonna cut it out. And so that was the shape that I had. I realized that the neckline looked a little weird, and I was like, okay, that's not really what his neckline looks like. But I was like, let me try to figure out where the hole is going to be. As you can see in this picture, he has a little hole right below the chest area. So I said, I'm going to try to figure out where the hole is going to be. I'm not really measuring stuff at this point, which I know is kind of crazy. I'm just kind of rolling with it. But I was like, well, just see what happens. So then I tried to change the neck shape. As you can see, it looks a little different from the other one, because I was like, it's not really a V, it's more of like a thingy. Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of is a V, but you know what I mean. And so then I cut out this part, and then I said, okay, I have the basic shape of what the front part is gonna look like. So, you know, progress. Not to mention I'm doing all of this during the week when I also am working a full-time job, so just to point that out. And so then I was like, if I feel like, looking at the picture of the person that I saw with the pool noodles, I was like, I feel like just putting the whole entire pool noodle might be a little intense, a little hard to glue down, right? So I was like, well, I'm gonna cut the pool noodle in half, and then I have more pool noodle to work with. Say pool noodle one more time, right? But then I have a little more to work with. So I cut it in half. I cut it in half, and then I started gluing it around the neckline. Now I did cut more out of the neckline, as you can see, because it looked really small, and I was like, I want to cut out more. So I did cut out more of the neckline to make it wider, and then I started gluing the pool noodle down. Now I used 𝘵𝑗𝑎𝑦 glue to glue this all together, which I will grab it right now. This is what I used to glue on the, why was I putting it up to this like it's the camera, bruh. Okay, this is what I used, 𝘵𝑗𝑎𝑦. I searched up like what would be good to bond foam. And I've used contact cement for like every other thing ever, but I wanted to use that one because I thought it would be stronger, and it did work, but it took a while to dry, and I think that was the big issue. It took a while to dry, and pool noodles are very resistant, so it was kind of hard to bend it once I got to the second layer, which I'll show you in a second. But I used my full thing of Dawn platinum soap refill because it's heavy, so I was using that to kind of lean it down and to kind of push it up against the foam and the noodle, because it just kept coming off. And yeah, so that's what I used to kind of weigh it down. And then I started adding more pieces, and I did have to cut them instead of just gluing it on and wrapping it around, because I noticed, like I was saying, the pool noodle is very resistant to bending. So I realized that I knew also that I was going to cover this up. So I was like, as long as I have the basic shape, I think it's fine. This is the back. So I started gluing more stuff down. As you can see, I mean, even here, it's like you can see that the glue is lifting up. Like it just did not want to glue, but it's fine. We made it work. Once it did glue though, it was very secure. So then that's more of the pieces down there, the finished product of gluing the pool noodles down. That's the back. That's what it looks like. Once again, very uneven, I know. So I knew I wanted to cover it. So I used 1mm or 2mm foam, something very thin. And I knew I wanted to fold over stuff, and I needed to be very flexible. So I knew it was gonna have to be very thin foam. And so yes, I put that over there, and I just put, I think for this I used the, did I use the 𝘵𝑗𝑎𝑦 contact cement? I actually can't remember which one I used. I think I used contact cement for this, and I, you know, let it dry a little bit, get tacky, and then I just worked my way and like really pressed into the groove so you could really see that it was, you know, try to make it look like a collar. And then I realized that it looked weird without something right here. Like I just feel like it looked really strange. So I knew that like this part looked raised a little bit. So I was like, well, maybe if I add another piece of foam on top of that part, it'll look better. And it did end up looking better. So that was me putting that on. This is before I used my Dremel thing to like sand it down. And as you can see too, I started sketching out where I was going to put the detailing, like this part. And I used half round dowels for that I just got off of Amazon. So yes, I started sketching out where I was going to put those. And then I added another piece on the side here because it looked weird with just this part. And so I added another piece here. Once again, I knew I was going to kind of sand stuff down. So then I added some more foam to the back to cover up more of that. And then this is after I started, as you can see, started dremeling. You can see it on my leg as well. Started dremeling stuff down. I also was wearing a mask I was wearing a mask because you are supposed to wear a mask when you're dremeling. But then I started adding the half round dowels on there, and I just used contact cement to glue these down. Same thing on the back. And once again, I was just flipping through, looking at this, seeing how it looked, and kind of trying to get it similar. And then this is me with it on. I sent this picture to my brother to let him know that we were trying. And so, yeah, I mean, at this point, I could see the vision, right? At this point, I'm like, okay, it's not perfect yet, but it's still coming together. Like, it still looks pretty decent. And also it was hard because my brother was like out of town, so I couldn't measure his body, and like he's very much so in shape. So like, I'm like, if I just measured on my body, like he for sure will be able to fit it, right? So that was a little stressful too, because I'm like, I hope he can fit it. But anyway, so then I started painting it. I used like 3 layers of Plasti Dip, and which I'll show you which one I used. And I got this from Walmart. Got 2 cans of it because I was like, I'm gonna need a lot of this. So 3 layers of that on there, and then I also started spraying his arm guards, and I just basically measured it on my arm, which if I had made it any smaller, it would not have fit him because he is muscular and I am not. Then I started painting on the green, and I did quite a few layers. I bought 2 of these, and I used all of one and most of this one. So this is just the Apple Barrel Matte Spring Green, just in case you need to see the color. No, it's really bright, isn't it? It's pretty bright. Hopefully you can see that. I'm on crunch time right now. I think this was, I don't even know how many days I had left. This might have been like 1 more day left. It was very much so. Like, I am rushing now. This is the back and how it looks. The back's not great, but you know, sometimes it's like, what happens in the back? Listen, I don't know. Okay. As you can see, those are the little arm guards. And this is also the same thickness of foam. It's 6mm, I'm pretty sure. And then I used more of the half round dowels to put on the edge because I wanted it to be like this. And I wanted to put more on the bottom, but I don't think I had any more. Pretty sure, or maybe I just forgot. Could be that too. Anyway, so then my favorite part was trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this wig, because how do you make a mohawk on a wig but also make it look like it's just growing out of his skin? So I had the idea to get a orange wig and cut the sides off and then sew it onto a wig cap. And yeah, I was spraying the ends to try to get this spiky look like he has. It was not really working out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was about to be very rough. And so at this point, my brother was back in town. And so he came over and I showed him, and he was very, very impressed with the armor that I had created, but the wig, you could tell that he was like, okay. So then he was like, okay, I'm gonna try to find a wig and spray paint it. And so I was like, all right, cool. So his wig actually looked so much better than this. I'm so glad that he didn't wear this. You try things, and I was using the got2b spray, as you can see right here, to try to just spike his hair up to get those that look. Finished look came out pretty decent, I think. Very, 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 very exciting for us to cosplay. And oh, I also did add this was just red felt, and then I just cut out white paper and used the 𝘺𝑗6000 to attach it to the armor here. But yes, I used Velcro to I put a piece of Velcro inside of these things here. As you can see, it doesn't look amazing, like it's very last minute, but we got a lot of props, especially because we actually are siblings. And I'll never forget my brother saying to one of the people that had asked us to take a picture, he was like, yeah, I was like, it's really cool because we're actually siblings. He was like his face, I don't know, it was so I don't know, it was really cool. Like, you could tell that he was like genuinely excited that like we actually were siblings. And like I said, I've never seen Android 16 before. I was so excited to cosplay with my brothers, and so excited that we got to do a show that we grew up on, Dragon Ball Z, and cosplay as these androids. It was really fun, and I am just really glad that we got to do it. The only other thing is we got to the con really late, and so we only spent a couple of hours there. We only went for 1 day, which is kind of insane, but you know, it's okay. It was really cool, and the people we met along the way was really awesome. Yeah, so I took a few more pictures of other things. This is a friend that we met, my brother's friend. we'll call him Heiko, my brother Heiko's friend that we met, and she was really cool. And these is some other DBZ cosplayers, which that Piccolo was so awesome, and they were really great. They were really nice and really sweet, and I'm so happy we saw them. And then we got to do a DBZ shoot, a photo shoot, which was cool. I'm glad we made it in time for that. And of course, Anastasia, like I had to take a picture of them, like absolutely incredible cosplay. Oh my gosh, I almost lost my mind when I saw them. And then of course, Mortal Kombat. I'm always excited to do Mortal Kombat. And then freaking the statue from Solo Leveling, so sick, so cool. And then I tried to be a photographer and take pictures of my brother in front of the sky back here. And oh, Jujutsu Kaisen, of course. And then he was taking pictures of me, just trying to pose. But yeah, that's basically it. Did not take enough photos at all. Did not record enough at all. But I will say, oh, and I did not add these pieces at the bottom. I just ran out of time. I was working on it literally the morning of before we left, and it was crazy. I didn't have time to do the boots like how I really wanted to, and I did not have time to add those little things on the side. I know this probably is so like what is happening, but just wanted to give my rendition of Android 16 because, like I said, there's so little videos about Android 16 cosplay making wise. Like there's just really nothing out there, so I wanted to let you know what I did, just in case anyone maybe is in my position looking for ideas. That's what I did. If I had anything, or what would I do if I had more time? I probably would have heat formed some stuff some more. Like as you can see, like stuff is kind of not as formed to his body as I would have liked it to be, and like these I would have heat formed it. I didn't use my heat gun, I just ran out of time. And I could have brought it to the hotel, but once again, it just was so much going on. Yeah, I've wanted to actually make boots or something, or like actual boot covers instead of just the cuffs. But like I said, for a last minute cosplay, Android 16 cosplay, I still feel like it was pretty okay. That's enough for me. Yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you watched all of this. And I will continue making videos. I know I need to finish editing my Solo Leveling, because I did finish that. I need to finish editing those episodes, and then I will jump back into something else, I'm sure. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not really a tutorial, but just what I did. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.